a darle voz a los bebés que no han nacido.
So it's very simple to me, and I'm going to say this in English because I want to get this right. People often ask me, why do you get so involved in the conservative movement, or why do you believe that you are conservative? And I can go into all the policy that I believe enhances the individual, but it comes down to a story that I just absolutely admire. The story of a young girl that right before going to college, she became with child. And obviously this wasn't planned, and after several weeks of emotional conversations with her parents and her family and her friends, she found herself in a clinic for her first checkup. That she was, it was a mandatory checkup that she had to go to. She's waiting in the waiting room, and after she gets done with the procedure, the physician comes back and she says, here's a blank piece of paper, but I want you to write down all your goals, all your dreams, your aspirations, everything that you want to be in the future. Write it all down for me. And this young girl, for the first time in what seemed like forever, felt like this was someone that wanted to help her, wanted to really push for her to be the best that she can be. And so she quickly write down all her goals, which was, I want to go to college, I want to be a strong businesswoman, I want to get married, I want to raise a great family, I want to succeed. She wrote down a page full of all her dreams, and she handed that paper back to her physician. The physician read line by line everything that she wrote, and then she tore it to shreds. And she said, everything that you put on this paper, you will not achieve because of what you are carrying inside right now. And this young girl, her dreams and her future just shattered right with the pieces of paper that landed on the ground. The physician sat next to her. She patted her knee and said, but don't worry, there is still an option for you, and you can achieve everything that you wrote on that paper. She took out a pamphlet and she started to go into her options of abortion. Now, this was the first time this young girl ever heard of what abortion even meant, but something just didn't seem right about it. She went back to her family, and her family said, this is not what you're going to do because this is not what we believe in. You're not a victim. You need to get over this, and you can succeed. And it's going to be hard, but you're going to work hard to be able to achieve your dreams that you want. I want to fast forward just a little bit. This young girl ended up going to college, ended up giving birth to her child. But she grew to be a successful businesswoman. She found a man that loves her and her child, and raised a phenomenal family with him. She has businesses in the states of Texas, California, even Puerto Rico. But she found that it's important to put elected officials who stand on the principles of life and protecting the unborn. So she got involved in politics, electing officials and getting the Hispanic vote for conservative figures. She now is the leader of the largest and oldest conservative Republican organization called the Republican National Hispanic Assembly. She serves as the national chairwoman. She also sits on the president's Hispanic Advisory Board, where she gets to talk to the president's campaign about the issues facing our community. She also recently sat in the office of Jared Kushner to talk about immigration reform. This woman has accomplished everything she wrote down on that piece of paper, plus more. Today, she's actually in a border city in Texas with Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle. Now, that young girl grew up to be someone that people call Madam Chair, boss, pastor. She became an associate pastor with her husband. But that young girl grew to be someone that I call mom. And that child she gave life to is me.